Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-August 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for the Rams in mid-August? It is still Leo season, right in the heart of the summer around these parts. But yeah, let's see what energies, messages, insights we can take a peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you're cooling into. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries gang in mid-August. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's have ourselves a good time today, my friends. We're going to have some fun reading through these cards. And the deck is being specific this week. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. So, yeah, very tempting type of energy here. I don't want anyone getting concerned about it. Yes, it does have the devil imagery, but I don't always connect it to like the same one in the tarot deck. This does have a bit of a different vibe to it. It could be actually very fun depending on what situations you're dealing with. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So a lot of interesting symbolism with this card over here. If you take a look, we have this devil figure. Sure, we have the lady, the flame, the serpent, the apple. So there's a lot of that Adam and Eve symbolism showing up here. Now, normally the devil energy could connect to Capricorn. So if you're connected to Capricorn, this could be them showing up. And that's normally due to the goat symbolism. That's the only reason they get that card. But it is usually very earthy. It speaks about earthly pleasures. It's just like a very heavy material based type of card. So for some areas, this could be fantastic for money, work, business, finance. Might have a couple of lucky breaks when it comes to money. The big caution with this card, especially with the Adam and Eve symbolism, is the temptation. So whether it's a situation, a habit, a behavior, if there is something you're trying to refrain from or not do, this energy is like, oh, Aries, do you want this? Oh, this would be so much fun. Try this. So again, for some of you, it could be fun, a little risky in nature. But for others, if there are certain things you're trying to refrain from, I'd watch it, because this energy could be like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to do it. Right? So we're just going to put them down right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aries gang. Let's see what we got. And yeah, just always remember, this could be anyone's energy around you. But yeah, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Now, I've been seeing this for all the fire signs for a couple weeks now, where all the readings seem very, very chatty. A lot of chit chat, a lot of talking, or emphasis on communication. But last week's reading was titled A Big Return, where there could be a lot of things, people, situations flaring back up, popping back up. Maybe for some Aries, your mind is looking behind towards the past. That's very possible. So I would say watch in the upcoming days and weeks. There could be a lot of things popping back up or circling around. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone else. Let's get it going. 3 cards here to start us off for Aries gang. Let's get our little energetic weather report going here, my friends, for mid-August. Here we go. Cool. All right, that's chill. I don't dislike it. The 4 of Swords could be really good. Normally, I like an action card in the first position, especially in an Aries reading, but I'm not too concerned about the 4 of Swords. That's great for like vacationing, resting, recuperating. Really like it for that. There we go. The Wheel of Fortune, that rapid shift of energy. Love the Wheel of Fortune. So it's funny how, like with that Devil card, I said something about a potential lucky break, and we get the Wheel of Fortune. That's pretty good. Let's get one more. Thank you. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, so it's like a big intensity right in the center of the spread initially. Really earthy Knight of Pentacles. And again, this could just be conversational in nature. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements real quick. I feel like it frames the reading, gives us a good foundation. Intriguing little mixture here. I'm not too concerned. I like that they're showing up different. We have a little bit of air, got a little bit of earth, and right here in the center, we'll just call that major arcana energy, right? Which is usually very strong, very intense. Now, when it comes to air, that's an energy that Aries usually vibes well with. It is strategic, very cerebral. It does focus on the mindset, mind state, perception, how we perceive things. It's huge when it comes to information. Now, there can also be the strategy and planning going on with this. It's usually very logical, it's about the facts. But yeah, there could be that strategy in play when we have swords. But the fact that it is about the giving or receiving of information makes this the communication suit. So normally I like it. It's a quick mover. The downside to air is that it could be a little cold sometimes. It could be an energy that can overthink potentially. And yeah, there could be a very surgical type of vibe to it. Now, again, doesn't mean it's definitely going to be that. In the center, we have the very intense energy of the Wheel of Fortune. Major arcanas represent big themes or things that can affect us in big ways. And on the back end, we have Earth. Now, Earth to me is about the material world. So you see this little theme we're getting with the devil in the beginning. This is great for everyday life routine, business as usual normally. I like it for stability, security. It's great for money, work, business, finance, home, and family. So the material world around us shows up with the Earth, which is good. The only downside to the Earth energy is that it's very, very slow and meticulous. So again, if you're one of my fellow Aries out there that likes to see progress, this energy could get a little frustrating sometimes. That's what the downside of it is, because it could be a little bit sticky. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Four of Swords. And as I mentioned, when we look at the big picture, very, very slow, very, very slow, lots of intensity in the center. But the Four of Swords, we see this dude chilling here. Looks like he's praying, resting, taking a nap of some sort. This is a very spiritual card. So if you're on a spiritual path, if you've been exploring spirituality, this is great. This could be spirit telling you, like, hey, Aries, lean into that a little extra. So whatever that might be, whatever your practice is, this is great. Now, if you're not the most spiritual type, this could just represent mindfulness, right? Like speaking to your own inner voice, taking a minute to let things calm down. This card doesn't necessarily represent stoppages. It can be when we look at the rough side, but to me, it's more about rest, recuperation, taking a break. There could be an emphasis on sleep as well. So make sure you're getting proper rest and relaxation. This is great for taking a little vacation or some time off. But again, there could be various situations that you might be taking a break from, or someone might be when this card is here. But what's the downside of the Four of Swords? It could be an energy that feels and looks stuck, right? Like it's not doing nothing, it's not moving. So it can be a little bit clunky because it's like, all right, well, what's changing? What's happening? Now, we do get the total inverse of this type of energy. And I will see, like, all right, is this stuck? Is it good? Is it listening to the inner voice? It could be all that. But in the center, we got the Wheel of Fortune, my friends. One of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. This is like Jupiter energy. It's beautiful. It's expansive. I always say this is my four-leaf clover of the tarot deck. So it could represent luck being on your side, a lucky twist, a lucky break, a twist of fate. It's very change-based, right? Like you see it, it's a circle, it's a cycle. So yeah, there's karmic energies tied into this, big picture energies tied into this. But normally the wheel to me, it's like, oh, all right, that's a twist, that's a change. So we need to see what's going to happen here when this card shows up. Normally I like it though because it speaks about the universe working for us, not against us. So that's really, really nice. The only downside with the Wheel of Fortune is that it moves very suddenly. It's like very, very rapid. It's very quick. Now, for some of you, that might be good, depending on what you're dealing with. Some of you, maybe not so much. But when we go from a card like the Four of Swords into the Wheel of Fortune, that is like very, very sudden, quick, unexpected, explosive, whatever word we want to use. It's like 0 to 100. There's big intensification, so to speak. Moving to the back end, yeah, so we need to watch out for that very rapid, fast-moving energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Right back to this very, very slow and steady vibe. Now, for some of you, this could be an earth sign, earth placement, if you have any. The Knight of Pentacles, to me, as with all knights, can represent messengers. So this could be talking, chatting, communication, messages, or the action that people are taking. And as mentioned, this Knight of Pentacles, out of all the knights, is the slowest. So it's like stop, go, stop. It's like there's this big intensifying of energy right here in the center. Then we get to this. So we're going to want to pay attention to like the shifting, changing, twisting type of vibes that we're picking up this week. And again, for some of you, that could be a great thing. But the downside to the Knight of Pentacles, I'm sure a lot of you could guess it. It doesn't look like it's moving. It could look and feel stuck. It could. So I would say in this time, watch out for like boredom, right? Watch out for things where it's like this energy feels a little dry on the outside. But I love this Wheel of Fortune in the center. So we need to see what's happening because, yeah, it is that like slow, fast, slow. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aries. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Aries gang. What do we have in mid-August? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot because, as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Four of Swords. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Four of Swords. What's happening? Okay. It's not bad. It's not terrible. I could tell you that. We got the Ten of Pentacles. This could actually be really good. It is very slow. So there could be something where Spirit's like, hey, slow and steady. There's no rush here, my friends. There's no rush. Ten of Pentacles, wins, victories. It could also be home, family, money, finance. Remember, Earth element is all about the earthly realm. So I love it, especially in the upright underneath the Four of Swords. For a lot of you, visualization is really important in this time. I think it's always important, but specifically in this time, whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever situations, doesn't matter, career, personal relationships, this is like assume the best, visualize the best, hold on to that, have that happy thought, right? Just like Peter Pan, think happy thoughts. Because the Four of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, to me, it's either something that's like a really great dream, a good dream. It's probably one of the better alignments we could ask for. But the only downside is that, like, okay, I have a good feeling about something, but I'm not seeing the shifting. I'm not seeing the changing. Like, I feel good about this, but where's the progress? Again, as an Aries myself, I totally get it. We want to see progress, right? Like, if we feel like we're not going forward, we feel like we're moving backwards. Sometimes it takes a while for things to materialize. And with the Four of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, this absolutely is already looking like a win or victory, even if it's coming in real slow. So sometimes slower is better. And we're just going to keep moving. I don't think I even want to complicate it. You know, Ten of Pentacles in the upright is really good. The only downside to me is the speed, right? Like the energy just feels thorough. I mean, for some of you, it's great. Again, like great time for vacationing, taking a little time off, rest, all that stuff, taking a little break could be beneficial. But we got great energy coming in. And if you're cross watching for an Aries, this could be Spirit saying, like, hey, give it a little time. Give it a little time. Let's see what's up with the wheel, because that's where the energy really intensifies. This is where we get the little stutter step. So, why is that beautiful Wheel of Fortune here for Aries gang? Good. This energy, it just like, it's like a twist, like a crazy twist, shift, or change. We got the World in reverse. It's like, oh yeah, no, that story's not over. That story's far from over. So there could be a thing or a situation where it's like, all right, you haven't crossed the finish line yet. Or it's like, no, there's still more meat on the bone with some sort of situation. Now, the World in reverse ties almost exactly to what we saw last week, where there's energies popping back up. Because normally, what is the world? And notice they're both cyclical, they both move at different speeds, though, right? The world represents cycles. It can represent the close of a journey, the close of a cycle. It's not like the Ten of Swords where it has to deal with pain. Normally, it's a very slow mover. So it does embody a very similar vibe to the wheel, where the wheel is like quick, fast, rapid. This one is slow, takes its time, evolves. So when I see the world, the card of endings in reverse underneath this Wheel of Fortune, it's like, oh no, there's still more to go. There's something, or it's like, no, there's more to this story, which I think is good. But we do have this like rapid, fast twist in something. So whether it's a twist in a story, whether it's a twist in a situation, or a twist in feelings where you might feel one way 1 second, and it's like, you know what, I don't feel that way anymore. I feel this way now. Or maybe that's how someone else is, right? Like this energy in the center, it doesn't feel bad though. That's the one thing I want to really push through is like, yes, we have the energy shifting, changing, twisting, and it feels very powerful, but I'm not nervous about it. I can tell you that. I think it's working how it needs to, right? I mean, it's just really intense in the center. Let's just keep going. I like it. It's open-ended, we'll put it that way. So let's see what the Knight of Pentacles has, right? Because this energy is like nothing, a lot at once, and then maybe it slows down again. So let's see what's up with the Knight of Pentacles here. Then we'll do a quick recap before we close it down. I think it's good. But yeah, there is still like these energies emerging, re-emerging, shifting, change. It's like all over the place here. Okay. So we do have the Eight of Swords in the upright. That could be an energy that's like stressed, anxious, nervous, a little bit on edge. Okay. So the energy to me is the exact opposite of what we have going on here. Now, again, when we have the Knight of Pentacles, that could be a conversation of some kind. So, like with the Knight and the Eight of Swords, this could be like a venting session of some kind. It could be some sort of emotional talk that may happen between you and another person. So, especially with all the magnetism, the shifting, the changing, this is like, I need to say this thing to Aries. Or maybe you feel like there's something on your chest where it's like, I need to say this thing to so and so. I need to address this. So whether it's an emotional talk or an important one, it does show up here on the back end. But again, it's not too bad. The Eight of Swords, we see the lady. She's blindfolded, hoodwinked. She does appear to be trapped, right? Like, so the energy can feel cornered. So I will say the only warning I'm picking up on the outsides is watch out for cabin fever, watch out for boredom, watch out for, I mean, there's nothing wrong with routine, right? Like sometimes routine and structure are good. So for a lot of areas, maybe there are shifts or changes to your everyday routine. But if we put that to the side, I feel like this is a conversation or talk that I want to get squared away. So whether again it's serious or important, maybe of an emotional nature, that could possibly be it here. But overall, I like the energy. But it's like really interesting how it goes from really slow to really, really intense to potentially slow again. So watch out for things that do that little stutter step where it's like no results, a lot of results. Now it's back to slow. So maybe it is a flare up. Let's go through and do a quick little recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. Overall, I like it for the vast majority of Aries or people dealing with Aries. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the Four of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Cool. It's an energy of wins, victories. It's great for vacations, taking a little bit of time. There was something here about perspective, assuming the best, having that happy thought, and visualization being super, super important. But if something is really taking its time to materialize or see progress, that doesn't mean that nothing's happening because we see these universal karmic energies working their magic right in the center. So looks can be deceiving, especially with this outer end, because there's a lot of things falling in place in the energetic realm, right? We got the Wheel of Fortune, World in Reverse. There's more to a story, there's more to come. And I like it. It is like a very sudden, rapid, surprising twist or change of energy, which I think is great. But it's like the more positive you are about it, the better. There is something that's open ended, and I still get this energy that could pop back up in this time. On the back end, we have the Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. To me, this does feel like a talk or conversation where I want to get something squared away. So whether it's serious, important, whatever label we want to put on, it's like, I want to speak about this. Let's get this figured out. So I think it can be great, but it's just this little shifting of energy we see. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we got for Aries, gang? What do we got for Aries? There we go. Cool. Eight of Wands. So again, like more of this very rapid energy shows up in the shadows. So again, looks can be deceiving. If it seems like nothing's happening, nothing's working, if you're feeling a little stuck in a rut or the energy's dry, when this shows up in the shadows, we are getting very similar vibes to the back end of this reading because the Eight of Wands is about action. It's about progress. That's a conversational card, just like we have here, but it's intense and it's very sudden. So the fact that this shows up in the shadows still tells me that there's something materializing, even if it's taken a little bit of time. Don't let appearances fool you. Now, the downside to the Eight of Wands is that this energy can be a little act first, ask questions later. So similar to what we had in the very beginning with the devil. Again, you could watch out for very intense conversations, but the main thing to me is think before you act, or this energy could be very impulsive. I'm not saying to you, it could be someone you're connected to. Just watch out for the impulsive urges. We're going to put that down right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The August calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the August subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 winners at random to either choose the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is an absolutely stunning deck, or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in your reading today, which one intrigued you the most? Which one caught your attention and why? And you put that in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab / post tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.